Hello, everyone, and welcome to 11 Foot Pole, a Tale of High Adventure. My name is Glenn. I'm the referee for this session. Joining me around the horn today, playing Karis.
Darren. Karis is a human hunter. No, still wrong. A hunter who happens to be human.
Still first level. Thorgus.
Right. Yeah.
Thorgus is glad that he's not a human at this point because, in a party with a hunter of humans. But JP playing Thorgus Runemain, the Dwarven Warrior.
And Nerath.
Nerath is a human cleric, and at first level has not yet gotten a spell. So as a cleric, he's pretty much just a fighter at this point.
A human cleric of Ezra, the main faith in my setting. And I'll tell you something. Her worshippers think there is no one who is better than Ezra. That's one of their main... Nothing? Thank you, Darren. Okay,
nice.
Thank you.
Nice.
All right. Yes, that's one of their hymns. There's no one who's better than Ezra. So,
jeez, I got it. My bad.
If we were allowed to post in the chat, there would be a video from Better Than Ezra.
All right. So when we last left off our group, you guys were still exploring the hole in the oak. Gavin Norman's zany old school adventure. You had survived the lever room, which I posted on our Facebook about, and people had made some comments. They were interested to see how you guys would handle the lever room. You went back and found the gold statues and decided, those are too big to carry out. Let's ignore them. And you guys headed east into the Phantom Fight Room, which is where you are now. So Sir Dieter you can see the gears are grinding, right? Oh, I forgot to mention Veritan, the elf, whose player is dead to us. Shall not be named. We're gonna scratch his all record of him off of all the monuments.
He's actually enjoying birthday cake with his lovely mother.
I know, which it just makes me even more resentful, if I'm honest.
No cake for you.
So Sir Dieter is deep in thought. He's like, listen, lads, here's what I'm thinking. This specter mentioned that the sword that I'm here looking for is across the river now. The river in question seems to be at the north edge of the area we explored. I'm thinking we should try to go north as soon as we find a break in the trail that will take us that direction, don't you think? What?
There's a hallway that goes north.
That's what I'm saying. We need to find a way to go north. What did I say?
Other than the one we've seen so far.
Yeah, there is a way to go north.
Well, that takes us back to the part of the river we've already been at. So we could either go back that way and try to see if we can go further down the river, or we could keep going this way and look for a chance to go north. That's what I think.
All right, so the hallway that is in the opposite corner of this room right now, it looks like it continues east.
It does.
And so the door would go south.
Feels like
that is correct.
So stay with the hallway, you think, JP?
Yes.
Say what?
Did we check the door in the northeast of that big bird in the Hall of Kings?
You listened at it and didn't hear anything, but you never opened it.
Okay. And this room we're in now is below that other big room?
Yes.
Right.
This room is between the ogre room and the room of levers hallway.
I will tell the party. I'll tell the party to wait here, and I'll be back momentarily. And I'll scuttle off. And I'm going to go open that northeastern door.
Okay, so you go back to the Hall of Kings. by yourself. Any of you old
That
school?
feels like a bad idea. Why don't we stay with you? Why don't we stay together?
No, the name of the episode is Split the Party.
Apparently.
Yeah, let's go back and if we're, but that's got door back to that room. That's not necessarily going to get us north either.
No, I just want to see there may be a hallway or a door to the left.
You open that door, and there is a hallway headed east, just like behind this door. At about 30 feet, you see one of those arches. Remember the arch that was like a trap in the south hallway? You see an arch like that, carved with a tree motif. Roll your intelligence or less on a d20.
I got that.
You got it?
Yep.
Close to the door to area 22. Yeah. So right in the archway, you see a dead body laying on the ground. He seems to be dwarven in proportions to you. It looks like a fellow dwarf laying in that doorway, and beyond you can make out there seems to be like roots or some kind of something festooning the walls beyond the archway.
The archway is on one of the walls. It's not going into that hallway. Correct?
It's across the whole hallway. Right? So you open that door. You see a hallway. Right here, there's a body. And there's an arch that's like part of the hallway. Right?
Which side of the arch is the body on?
It's
our side or the other?
It's mostly on the other side, but like his feet are sticking across the actual archway.
Mm-hmm.
And then the hallway keeps going for quite a ways beyond the distance of your dark vision. But you can just pass the arch, you could just make out like roots or something.
Maybe we file this away for future reference and go back to the room we were in.
That's what I'm thinking.
Take the eastern hall.
All right.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
All right.
To make Glenn move the pieces around.
You're back in room 38.
Thanks, monkey.
All right. So now you've got this hallway that goes east out of this room, and you've got this door in this room that you haven't checked out yet.
Thorgus heads east.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go. Let's keep taking that. Maybe that's going to get us somewhere. Because there were no doors leading out of the ogre room, right?
There were no doors leading out of the ogre room. That is correct. You go about 40 feet down this hallway, and there's kind of a door over here. And then just up ahead, you can see the hallway ends in a different door.
So the door that you just put on there is heading south.
Your contractor's sense of direction is flawless.
And that door is continuing eastward. I will stop and listen at that first door. And I do not hear anything. I will maybe ask Karis to listen as he walks by. And I will head towards the door at the end of the
forget that. Veritan pushes his way to the front. Veritan pushes his way to the front, says, "There's nothing to hear behind this door. I'm sure of it. I've never been more sure of anything in my whole life."
I'll go ahead and check the east door and
I'm like,
open it if
what?
it's unlocked.
I'm sorry, hold on just a second. Let me check something. There's a big difference between room 32 and room 52. Okay. So what'd you say, JP?
I'm going to go to the east door and check it. If it's unlocked, I'm going to go ahead and open it.
Okay. You gonna listen first?
I do too.
Sorry. Okay. Oh, so you succeeded in listening at the east door? Yes. You hear voices. You hear sort of we represent the lollipop kids kind of voices. I
speak
It's our second
Gnomish,
off
Goblin,
reference
and Kobold.
today.
You speak Gnomish?
Goblin and Kobold, yes.
You speak Gnomish? You lying dog. Why would you lie to me, your own DM? They are speaking in Gnomish.
Score, JP. Nice.
Unless I'm mispronouncing it, was Gnomish. It could be a different language.
Didn't see that coming, did you?
I certainly did not. Neither did Gavin Norman, who wrote this adventure. Personally, I just think Carolyn is kind of playing hard to get. That's where a woman like acts like she's not interested in you, just, you know, to kind of string you along a little bit. So, but I don't want to seem too eager. That's the thing. If you seem too eager, you're a chump. So she's playing hard to get. I'm playing not really trying to get. So it could be a while before anything develops. This is the conversation you hear as you listen at the door.
Is there a conversation or just one of them talking?
No, it is a conversation. Yeah. He's like, I don't know, man. That sounds pretty messed up. I think, you need to realize your own worth. And, if somebody doesn't realize your worth, then, they're not the one for you.
And then I chime in my best Gnomish accent. Especially that Carolyn, she's been known to string others along.
Okay.
And then I'll go ahead and slowly open the door.
Okay.
Didn't see that either, did you?
Talk amongst yourselves for just a moment.
Amongst yourselves. We gotta get church to say on Saturdays we play D&D.
I like that.
Yeah, that Caroline sounds like she's a real tart.
She is. She's just pain in the ass. Jason, what kind of dog you have?
An attention hound.
Don't you have like
It's
4
like
dogs and 6 cats?
I do. This is what was the name of the guy who was the tiger guy?
Oh, yeah.
Tiger
King.
Yeah, that's how I feel. That's how I feel. They just show up. And they really have to have attention. I mean, I can't sit for an hour. This is hard without, one of them that's very vocal. She's like, pay attention to me. Pay attention to me. Pay attention to me.
She's probably scared of the chair, though.
No.
Go get the chastity chair.
Yeah, I'm not lying. That chair the back is straight up, man. There's nothing comfortable about this chair.
He's running for president, from prison. Did you guys know that?
Who?
The Tiger King is running for
dog.
president from prison.
Is he?
Oh yeah. He's got a website where you can, find out his platform.
I didn't think you could run for prison if you were convicted of a felony.
Apparently, there's some vagueness to that.
Oh,
It's
really?
one of those things that we all thought as Americans, why would we ever do that? So we never thought it was really totally necessary to put it into law, because that'd be stupid.
So it's not there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he wouldn't be the first to run for office from a prison.
Plus,
Anyway, our fantasy life is getting intruded upon. Come on, mister.
Yeah.
plus, everybody knows he's innocent. So, there's that to keep in mind.
Those darn PETA people.
All right, so
The
door opens, and a dwarf sticks his head through, and what you see here, check something else. Yes, and yes. All right, so
Okay.
Whoops.
what have I done? Oh.
Nothing. The doors just tumbled.
A hallway leads out of this room to the north. Okay?
Uh-huh.
There are 3 gnomes in this room. And there is a bunch...
Goodies in the corner.
Say what?
And goodies in the corner. Yay.
Yes, and there are goodies all over the room. What you see is like woven baskets, like the big ones that you carry on your head. Some nets, and the smell of fish is pretty strong in this room. And
Hey, we need these guys.
all three gnomes turn to you at once and go, "You speak gnomish?"
I do. In my dwarven accent. Gnomish accent.
Ah, that's pretty rare to find a dwarf that speaks our language down here. What brings you and your many companions to the Weald of Basra the Imperishable? So you notice as you're about to answer, they have like knives for cleaning the fish and stuff, and they're like keeping their knives handy, and they're all like standing up from their little benches in case they have to fight.
We have something. Dwarven gnomish accent. We have something we'd like to make imperishable.
Ah, they look at each other.
And I pull out that crystal dagger I got a while back.
I warn you, if you mean violence,
not like
we
that. I
have
pull
many
it out like-
friends. We have many
pull it out
friends
like
close
this.
by. Okay, but they're like, we have many friends close by. Beware, adventurer.
Oh, we are all friends here.
Oh, why don't you come into the light where we can see you a little better? Who else comes into the room?
Just follow in order that we're walking there.
Okay, all right.
See if we can talk to Gnomish Jason. See if we can, or JP, to see if we can get them to give us any clue about how to get to the river, and find the sword.
Do we know the name of the river?
You have not heard anybody give it a name. Ah, so you brought this rare crystalline dagger. The leader of our gnomish community is a powerful wizard. Perhaps perhaps you should show it to her. And they all nod vigorously. Yes, why don't you come with us to our leader?
Your leader's name is?
My leader's name is Gribble. Grim and Gribble are the leader and priestess of our community. Gribble is the lady, and she is our high priestess, and Grim is the is sort of the elder of our people.
Whereabouts are your leaders located? Are they to the north, perchance?
No. Oh, there's also a passageway that goes south from this room. So there's a passageway over here, and there's a passageway back here. They indicate this direction, and they're like, "No, our community is to the south, not far, within shouting distance." He says meaningfully.
Again, I mean you no harm.
Roll your charisma or less on a 20-sided die.
6. I got it.
They seem to relax a little bit. I mean, they still are obviously outnumbered, and dungeons are dangerous. But the fact that you speak Gnomish has obviously made a huge impression on these guys.
I will kind of sidestep the going to the leader thing and explain that we're looking for a passage north. We need to cross the river.
Oh, that's no problem at all. He points to the north passageway. This passage leads directly to the river from here. And one of the others speaks up and is like, "You have to be careful, though. There is a clutch of giant lizards, giant like gecko things, down a side passage." And she picks up a Bugs Bunny bug sprayer type thing. Remember this? Right? It's got the cylinder, and then it's got the... Yeah. She picks one of those up and hands it to Thorgus. And she's like, "This will drive them off. Just leave it by the river when you get there, and we'll come fetch it later."
So they're directing us
North.
not where we've come before, but this new...
There's a passage that leads north out of this room, and they're saying it goes back to the river. You just have to get past the giant lizards with your giant lizard repellent.
Mm-hmm. And I'll ask them. They said there was a clutch of lizard folk. I'll ask them in the gnomish world, how many is a clutch?
Oh my gosh. Okay.
More than we'd like to screw with, I'm guessing.
No. I have to do this now. Gavin included a table with names for gnomes, gnome names. These guys are named Dreblum, Femir, and Saglo.
Thorgus does that sometimes.
And they each have noticeable hats, right? Like some have the traditional gnome hat, some have a little bowler, some have like a big 10-gallon cowboy hat or whatever. So the second one that was talking, the one that handed you the lizard repellent, lifts up his hat, and he's got a little flask of whiskey under there, and he pulls it out, and he takes the cap off, and he takes a drink, and he wants to hand it to you. He's like, "Here, let's toast to your good luck."
Take it and take a drink.
Okay, yeah. I mean, it's just strong whiskey. He takes it back. To answer your question, plenty.
And the definition of plenty?
Say what?
The definition of plenty?
I don't know, JP. We never counted them.
They don't hold very still for counting.
There's at least 4. There's at least 4 of these giant lizards. And if one of them comes out of that side passage, just spray him right in the snoot with that spray and take off a running.
Snoot spray. Got it. I tell them thank you, and that when we return, that I shall go see their leader with the dagger.
I like your lizards.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's what she said.
Yeah.
All right. So they wish you well. They say the traditional gnomish blessing. May the road rise to meet you. May the wind be always at your back. And you guys head north down the passageway.
Yep. And as we go, Thorgus starts skipping a little bit and starts singing, "We're off to see the lizards."
I got to tell you guys,
Three hours rest
for all of our friends, for our fan watching on YouTube, the combination of you speaking Gnomish and rolling that well on your charisma check, that was clutch. You have no idea how much that turned that whole encounter. Could have gone a totally different direction. Believe me. All right.
I didn't know you did not know Thorgus was a trilingual contractor.
I know. That's the last thing I would have expected. You go north 60 feet, and you see a side passage. Darren, roll us a d6.
2.
Yeah. So you reach the side passage, and sure enough, Thorgus, are you in front?
I am. Newt spray at the ready.
Naroth in the back.
Okay.
The healer of the party.
Right. And sure enough, the sound of your approach brings this guy out wanting to look at you. It all
Get him,
comes down.
Bugs.
Say what?
Get him, Bugs.
This all comes down to this initiative roll, JP.
I'm doing it.
Yes. You want to win initiative against my 2. My gentleman's 2. Ooh, a 4. Excellent. All right. So this thing comes shuffling out, and something the gnomes didn't tell you that you noticed right away is he's kind of got these, what am I doing? He's kind of got these hypnotic looking eyes, right? And as soon as he comes out, he locks his purple swirly eyes with you, and you almost like start to fall into them, and then you're like, and as soon as that stuff hits his snoot, he goes scampering back down his little hallway.
And
It's like the snake in Jungle Book.
And we speed off.
Each of you gets 100 experience points, 50 for bypassing the gnomes and 50 for bypassing the lizards.
Awesome. A couple things. I need to ask for a torch longevity check.
Oh, it's been about 3 turns.
About 3 turns. And then one other thing is that I'm thinking about this, and Naroth, when he seems to attack, he's using a sling. It seems like a two-handed operation. To load a pebble into a sling, don't you think?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I probably shouldn't be carrying the torch, because otherwise I'm setting a torch down.
Well, everybody is
for a while.
Everybody is two-handed.
Oh,
For a while, didn't we give it to Dieter with his shield? Wasn't that?
That's
part of the
true.
plan?
That's true. All right, so
Yeah,
you suggest Dieter carry the torch, and he takes it from you.
Awesome.
Also, Naroth, you hear a voice from your backpack.
Nice. It's been a minute.
You're wasting time searching for this sword. You need to be looking for stairs down.
Do we now?
Okay. And maybe I'll whisper back. in time.
My patience is not without limits.
And you're not without appendages. Oh wait, that's hard.
You can't
Doesn't
hear
work.
him.
So Naroth chimes in. I might offer a suggestion that perhaps we should. This is going to come out of the blue. Perhaps we should be looking for some stairs. And y'all are going to be like, what?
Stairs down into the river, or up over the river.
I'll let you know.
Well, that doesn't seem suspicious at all.
And like I know, but remember, Naroth is looking more intelligent and charismatic to you guys. Remember that.
Right.
Sure. Yeah.
Never forget the advantages of the evil lich voice.
It's been a dry spell, but not, you know.
Yeah, Naroth feels compelled that that there may be something of interest at the bottom of stairs.
Well, it's not like we've blown past these stairs so far, so we can keep an eye out.
Yeah. Right then. Just tuck that away in the back.
As you guys come down the hallway, it opens up into a natural cavern, and as soon as you get past those lizards, you start hearing the familiar sound of the river. You come down to this sort of beach area. Natural cavern, 8 feet high, slick with mist, cold, fast-running river, sandy bay with lots of tiny little humanoid footprints.
This is maybe where they come fishing.
And then there are fishing nets that are like stretched across the river. They've set up this whole thing where you can let them out and pull them in. And they're currently out and have little, some fish caught in them.
Speaking of which, have we eaten in a while?
No, you guys are starving. But, apparently adventurers only eat once a day. So maybe you guys have been snacking on trail rations,
Good for morale.
So basically, if you look over here, if you look to the north, if you look to the east, there's a hallway down at the other end of the beach. Okay, there's a lot. If you look east, right, you go down to this part of the beach, and there's a hallway that goes back further east, back into the dungeon, right? There's nothing straight across from you except cave wall. But if you look to the left, upstream, you see a bridge just about 15 feet from the edge of the beach here. You see a bridge that crosses the river from south to north, or north to south. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. It does. That makes our decision.
Argus, why don't you cross over the forbidden bridge?
Well, someone would have to swim over there somehow. I mean, there's 15 feet of fast rushing water between us and that bridge.
Oh, the bridge is on the other side. The bridge is on the other side of the river?
The bridge crosses the river further up from where your beach is, right? So picture, basically the river goes into a tunnel up here, right? You see what I'm saying? Or it comes out of a tunnel up here. Mm-hmm. And further up that tunnel, you see a bridge that goes across. But to get to it, like you'd have to swim upriver about 15 feet to get to where it is.
Why would someone put a bridge in the river?
Well,
no, you take a boat to it from the other side.
Okay. Maybe I'm not describing it well.
It's just upstream, but you're able to see it through the tunnel. Yeah.
It crosses, there are two openings further up the tunnel. You see what I'm saying? So further up the tunnel, there's a bridge from an opening on the south to an opening on the north.
Oh, that we may have missed. Okay.
Like there maybe is a trail to it, maybe upstream.
From the dungeon areas.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Look, you're here on the beach.
We're at 48.
Up here is a bridge that crosses. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is where the lizards were. This is where the halflings were. There's a bridge up here from another room to another room elsewhere in the dungeon.
Right.
Does it make sense now?
Yes. Yeah. So we missed.
You missed a chance to go north. Yes, you certainly did.
Can I do a dwarven something roll to see if I might be able to think about where that might have been, and we could go back to it?
Well, the only place it could have been is the hallway with the dead dwarf and the roots. Right? That was north of where you guys were.
Okay.
So eventually that hallway must turn north and cross the river up there, further upstream.
All right. So I present that to the party and say, do we want to go back to the hallway, or do we want to try to forge this?
What else can we see here? What else can we see here led to the other direction?
Which other direction? What?
To the bottom of the street,
East.
where all of the
So
east.
the river goes basically into another tunnel down here, right? But at the end of the beach, there's another hallway that goes east from here. Does that make sense?
Do we want to go back? Do we want to go back to the dead dwarf passageway, or do we want to try to again get through the water?
Oh, so if we went through the water, could we pop up on the bank on the other side and head north again? If we simply cross the river?
Well, but it's just like a cave wall directly across from where you guys are. There's no beach over there.
Is there anything to tie a rope off on where we're currently standing?
Sure.
Okay. Dorgus proceeds to take his backpack off and pull the rope out. And
as you're doing that, Jason, mark off another turn. The camera shows a little head poking out of that hallway at the end, and
I will tell.
Like this little head pokes out, and it sees you, and it kind of scrunches its face a little bit, like rubs at its eyes, and it turns around and goes back up the hallway.
Yeah, I will tell.
You didn't see it. It was just for the audience.
Okay. So I will take the rope out. I'll tie it off on something. I'll let it out about 20 feet, so where I can see the end kind of stop just past where we need to get back on land. And I proceed to grab hold of the rope, kind of let myself go. Is the river flowing that direction?
No, it's flowing it's flowing from the bridge.
The opposite way.
Yeah.
Well, then disregard all of that.
Yeah.
You would have to
edit the last 45 seconds out.
You would have to throw a grappling hook to the bridge and then pull yourself upstream. Does anybody have a grappling hook?
I don't.
You lying dog, a grappling hook and rope. JP, you prepared for everything, man.
I'm a contractor. I have things of weird,
The name of this episode is going to be Thorgus, is your back hurting because you are carrying this whole campaign all by yourself.
So Thorgus will do that.
Take 4.
You can
Take 4 away from your strength, and then you want to roll that or less on a d20.
I didn't think dwarves could swim.
I missed. Nat 20.
Okay, so you throw the rope, and it doesn't even reach the bridge, let alone grabbing hold.
So you have blown two. We have blown 2 nat 20s today. In a rare situation where that's bad.
Try it again. Try it again with a 3.
Okay,
I'll start.
Okay. Nothing comes creeping along while you do that. So the second time you got a 3.
Yes.
All right. Now there's a grappling hook on the bridge, like on the handrail, right, of the bridge, and the rope is trailing back to where you guys are. Now what do you do?
Okay. I will tug on it, and ask 2 others to help me tug on it to make sure it's secure.
It's very secure.
And I'm gonna start into the water.
Are we sure this is a less risky way than just going back to the other route?
We don't, but no one offered.
You ask as he's pulling himself into the water.
Before you go into the rushing water, we lose you.
No, the water's down here. The ropes, we're gonna go up.
No, the rope is kind of trailing in the water. Oh, do you want to try to pull it so tight that it's up out of the water?
That's what I'd like to do a little bit,
And
Do you have spikes in that or pitons in that list of?
I have iron spikes.
You piece of dirt. All right.
But listen,
All right. You.
listen, I don't want to split the party, but Naroth is wearing plate, right? He's probably not that excited about pulling himself up a roaring river.
Well,
So
dadgummit,
too, right?
I untie the rope,
Mhm.
shake it a little bit to get the grappling hook to come loose.
Oh, that
reel it in
grappling
like
hook
a
ain't
good-
coming loose.
Okay.
It ain't coming loose,
so
dog.
So I just let the rope dangle in the water, and I huffingly put my backpack on. back to the dead dwarf.
I mean,
I start.
once this is Sir Dieter talking to you, Nero. It's like once he's on the bridge, we could tie the rope around ourselves and he could pull us. I mean, it's not that far if you think about it. It's just
Does
like
he have-
15 feet upstream.
If it's
Dorgus
just,
is already making his way down the hallway.
I'm up for it. I just was trying to figure out the simplest way to do this.
I'll
There's
be
one-
honest,
There's one other thing you lads haven't considered. We could go all the way back to where we were on the river before and see if we could get
Take the
down to the yes, we could use the boat and see if we could get down to this bridge somehow.
But the boat was only good for 2 of us at a time, right?
Yes, well, there is that. It's quite a logistical problem.
Dorgus is gone.
right? Naroth says, "Hey, what do you say we start shimming up that rope?"
Thorgus has already left. I mean, are you guys going to go after him or not?
Rope. His rope is attached to a grappling hook. He's going to have to get that off the bridge.
He
No
left
way.
it.
Yeah, I know. Why can't I go up the rope now? Just wanted him out of the room.
You said you were in plate mail and didn't want to go up the rope.
This is
I could give it a try. I'm not in plate mail.
Okay.
My goodness.
Are you guys literally splitting the party, or are you going to call the dwarf and tell him to come back?
JP, come back. Come back.
Oh, I'm gone.
JP!
Dorgus is gone.
JP!
Dorgus is gone. Dorgus is gone.
I can't run 2 different locations at once. Either JP has to come back, or you guys got to go.
Gonna hurt his brain.
What'd you say?
What do you think, JP? You want to go to the dead dwarf and see if we can fight through that way?
Yeah, actually, Naroth would like to do that.
Okay.
All right.
I do
Let's
not
go.
approve of bullying on the 11-foot pole podcast. So you get back to the gnome room, right? And they're like, "Oh, that was fast." I guess you said you wanted to reach the river.
Well, Thorgus is walking through way ahead of the rest of the party and just
Yeah. When they see
grunt.
you, they're like, "Oh, that was
Yeah.
fast."
I just grunt, kind of huff, and look at him and walk on through the room.
Oh, well, may the road rise
Maybe
to
they
meet
know a
you.
shortcut. Maybe they know. Maybe we weren't specific enough. We're looking for our lost friend with his sword.
JP's
See,
trying
they
to
have
get
a
his
shortcut or a
character
way-
killed is what's happening here. Just
The thing is the rest of us don't speak gnomish. So,
Yeah, I was getting that.
all right. So he goes through the gnome room. The rest of you guys come running through. The gnomes give you a sort of awkward wave. You give them an awkward wave.
Shaking my head.
Mark off another turn on the torch. And
Right.
JP, roll a D6 for me.
3.
Okay.
Naroth yells out to Sir Dieter, Sir Dieter, be a good sport and light us another torch.
Oh, I don't think I have any torches. I was counting on you lads to bring those.
I've got 3.
You got 3?
Mm-hmm.
I've got 4, so I'll pass him a torch.
You guys catch
prepared.
up with Thorgus around the figment room, and you notice as you're stomping through Thorgus, just the slightest hint of the outline of the Lizard Man champion and the warrior are like starting to appear again. Do you know what I mean? Like this, like just the slightest
Gotcha.
outline of them. You can hear the sound of battle again, and it looks like they're starting to replay the whole battle all over again. You guys make it back into room 22. The statues are still solid gold. And then you guys go north and find yourselves looking down hallway 26. All right, JP.
All right. Naroth yells up to Thorgus, well, you didn't have to get all huffy about it.
He just huffs back.
Yeah, Sir Dieter is saying under his breath to Veritan, dwarves can be very touchy. Rather volatile. Still, if it gets us where we're going, I suppose it'll all be worth it. I mean, he did make friends with those gnome fishermen. Now, what you going to do about this dwarf corpse situation?
That's on the other side of the arch.
It's right
I'm going
in
to
the
attempt
archway.
I'm going to attempt to detect room traps.
Okay. There are no room traps.
That's a 2. Okay.
Yeah, sorry. You take a look at the arch. So this is the second of these arches that you've seen in this dungeon. They each are decorated with a different sort of design. That first one was a trap, but you don't think this one is. You think like this is a feature of the architecture of this dungeon, and that one to the south just so happened to be a trap, but it doesn't look to you like this one would be.
So this dwarven body, is it decomposing? Has it been there a while? Is it newly perished?
You get a little bit closer and take a look. He's kind of laying on his side, and it says here he has a ginger beard to his knees. So Karis has a red beard, Thorgus has a red beard, and this dead guy has a red beard. The difference...
Shave your beards!
The difference between him and you is his beard has a vine, like a black vine wrapped around his neck. And his face has this kind of a purplish, bruised look to it.
Some sort of strangle vine.
Yeah, and as you look around, you can see what you took for roots at first. Now that you're closer, the walls are like covered in this weird black underground ivy. Roll your intelligence or less on a d20 there, Thorgus.
I got it. 4.
You, as a dwarf, have heard of this stuff before. and it will, it like lashes out, and it's basically like assassin vine, right? It lashes out and tries to wrap around your throat and strangle you so that you can decompose and, what's the word I'm looking for? Fertilize its fertilize its growth.
So the dwarf is gone, right?
He's
gone.
dead, if that's what you mean.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna ask Sir Dieter to pass the torch up or bring the torch up to me. Or actually, I'm gonna have him do it. He has longer arms, and I'm gonna have him reach out. Can he reach near Vine and just like set it on fire?
He does. He reaches out and he holds the vine underneath, or he holds the torch underneath the closest edge of this sort of viney growth, and it like doesn't want to catch. It's like it hardly seems hurt by the fire at all. It's almost as if Gavin wrote "not damaged by fire," like just unharmed by fire.
Oh.
Can I reach the vine that's wrapped around the dwarf's neck? Can I reach like the base of it, or
if you pull the dwarf a little bit towards you, you could.
Okay, I'll start pulling the dwarf. Is there any
Right.
resistance?
No, not really.
Resistance. Okay, and I'm going to take out my dagger and start slicing the vine.
Okay. Nothing in particular happens. You cut through the vine. It's got like little thorns on it.
Is the dwarf decomposing?
He's just starting to. Yeah, he's only been dead maybe a day and a half.
He is dead.
Okay, first things first. Does he have anything? Would I notice any dwarven implements or weapon gear that I might?
You check him over. He's got scratched leather armor. His belt pouch has 20 gold and 42 silver. And he has a note in his pocket. It is scribbled and says, "The river ghouls could be tricked out of their treasure, ? So more like, could the river ghouls be tricked out of their treasure?
All right, I hand the note to Karis. And I ask Sir Dieter. No, I ask Naroth to help me lift the dwarf.
Okay.
And we're going 1, 2, 3, throw it as far as we can down the hallway towards the vine.
Okay. So you toss him, into the area of the vines, and 4 different sort of vine tentacles, right? Like lash out and grab him around the arms. Another one grabs him around the neck. One grabs him around the ankle. And they're kind of like tugging at him, kind of like in all directions at once. I mean, he hits the ground, but like they're like pulling on him.
Okay. I will slowly, like inch by inch, start stepping in through the little passageway in towards that area.
It works.
Dagger drawn.
It works.
Dagger drawn. Okay.
So you're able to use the distraction of it being busy attacking his body. If you guys hustle through, you guys can get past the vine horror and down the hallway.
Hustle.
Everybody gets another 20 experience points.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my Thorgus's back is hurting a little.
Thank you, JP.
Come on.
All right. You guys go another 30 feet, and you come to one of these. You can keep going straight. It looks like in another 40 or 50 feet, it opens up into some kind of room. But to the left, there's a hallway that goes north that features stairs going up.
Maybe to the bridge.
We hear a faint sound of water.
You do not out of the North Passage. Thorgus, roll your and Karis. Either one of you guys roll your intelligence or less on a d20.
Oh, sorry. No, nat 20.
5. Stop that.
So, what happens here is a hilarious argument between Thorgus and Karis. Okay, Thorgus knows his way around underground. He's been counting his steps, and he's pretty sure that this hallway should line up with the bridge, the hallway that goes north. Karis has also been counting his steps, and he's sure that you need to go further east before you would line up with the bridge. You guys have not gone far enough, and going north can't be, it's too early to go north. This can't be it. So a Three Stooges fight breaks out between you guys. Right. You block him, and then he holds out his hand. He goes, "Hit that!" You hit it, and his hand comes around and hits you on the head. But Sir Dieter is going to try to step in and resolve this, and he says, "Listen, Thorgus. Normally, I would trust the head of a dwarf not to get lost underground before anyone. But let's be honest. It feels like you kind of lost your cool a little bit back there. I think it's Karis's turn to kind of, let's take Karis's side this time and see how things turn out. I say we keep going east."
Well, I'll be honest. That gnomish whiskey hit me really hard.
Oh, it's got a kick to it, eh? I should have tried some.
A kick and a bite.
Well, let's go down to area 27. So you guys continue down the hallway, right? And up ahead, you see these black vines along the walls, right? But Thorgus, you're in the front. You take one look at these. So this is like fool's ivy, right? You've heard of this. This isn't the stuff that chokes you. You can tell right away because it's got 3 leaves in a cluster instead of 4 leaves in a cluster, right? But you do see something you don't expect to see. Dangling in the ivy are these black fruits. They look like tomatoes that have been spray painted a glossy black. And there's maybe a dozen of them hanging from the ceiling and the walls and stuff as you guys reach area 27. And then up ahead of you, you see this opens up into a room, and you can kind of smell this kind of earthy, almost like a greenhouse kind of smell coming from that room up ahead. What do you guys do in this area with the black fruits?
There's a room with a greenhouse ahead.
There's a room up ahead that kind of gives off this kind of a greenhouse kind of a smell, and there's some dim light coming from there. But here,
the gnomes mentioned
what?
Well, the gnomes mentioned a wizard.
Yes, they said the leader of their group was a wizard.
That's right.
Yeah, that was way out adjacent to their area, right? We're quite a ways from there right now.
It's a different direction, yeah. And Thorgus reminds everyone of the movie with the evil witchy lady that turned an apple, like made it a black apple, and gave it to somebody to eat.
You mean the puppet show, right? You mean the play where that happens? Yeah.
The children, the campfire story.
Yes.
He will recommend not eating the fruit, and he will slowly.
We're
slowly
thinking of eating the fruit.
Veritan, you guys look over and you notice Veritan is looking speculatively at these fruit. He's like, I mean, how often do you get the chance to try? I mean, we could at least cut one open and take a look.
We know Naroth is hearing voices, so who knows what they're telling him to do.
Yeah. You hear a voice from your backpack. Why don't you try the black fruit? What's the worst that could happen?
Dorgus
I
will
guess we
continue
keep
on
going
through.
ahead.
Yeah.
Go to push ahead towards the lighted room.
All right. You guys go another 30 feet. And you come into this large stone block room with rich soil on the ground and plants in these mounds of earth coming down from the ceiling all along the walls. All these different sort of mushrooms and vines and crazy underground like ferns and stuff.
Mhm.
And we'll find out what happens next time on 11-Foot Pole. Join us in 2 weeks back here. Unless you're checking us out on YouTube, give us a like, give us a comment, give us a subscribe if you are. And we will have new episodes for you guys on YouTube next week. Catch us back here. Thanks for joining us, guys.